Hey everyone, it's John here from CNS Outdoors. Today I wanted to talk to you about the pros and the cons of the different batteries we use when we're ice fishing. The lithiums versus the lead acid batteries. So here you've got your two different styles of batteries that I use on my Markham. So we've got the sealed AGM lead battery here and the lithium PO4. This is a 12 volt 8 amp that I had bought on a previous battery. I didn't have a 10 amp. The battery store didn't have one when I purchased it. This is all they had. So just using the batteries themselves as comparisons, and that's about it. If you got the 8 amp, whatever, that's only going to give you so much compared to a 10 amp, which is going to give you a longer lasting life. But for this, we're just going to talk about the batteries themselves. So some of the pros you're going to see with the lithium versus the lead acid. They're a lot lighter, even though they're the same dimensions when you put them in. You're looking at probably half the weight. Usually that's about close to a 5-pound battery, give or take, and that's about a 2-pound battery to 2.5-pound battery, depending upon what brand you get and everything else. So the lithium is going to be a lot lighter. In the cold, lithium will last longer. It could be 20 minutes to an hour, sometimes more, depending upon the usage. But when you're ice fishing, even if you get that half hour on the ice, that's a big thing for me. I want that. A lithium has a shorter charge time. One of the things you have to understand between the lead acid and the lithium, you can't use the same charger unless it's designed for it. A lithium has to have a special charger. So you might have to buy a separate one for that. Not a big deal. You can find them for $15, $20, depending upon where you buy it from. So is it different? Yes. Now, if you get a bigger battery, like a 36 volt for trolling motor battery, you're going to pay a lot more for a charger, of course, but that's a whole different animal. We're going to stick to just these small batteries right now for, your Markham, your Vexilars. Those are about the only pros that I can come up with. Now, they're good ones, and I think it's well worth it. But on the backside, here's some of your cons as far as it goes. Now, generally, a lithium is going to cost you quite a bit more. The good news is there's a lot of deals, and because they are becoming so popular, the price is going down. Lead acid, the price is going up. I was floored when I bought this one this year for something different, and that's when I thought, okay, I'm going to try the lithium over here. Actually bought 2 of them. We're gonna try these lithiums this year and see how that works. I'm actually using them in my cell cameras as well, so that's what I bought this one for. So yeah, the cost is a con. Another thing that happens when a lead acid battery is dying, when it gets below a certain voltage, you unplug it, it'll come back if you leave it sit for a little bit. Now I'm talking like if you got a GPS unit where you need to find out where you're at, if you leave it unplugged for a little bit, a lead acid battery, you'll be able to turn it back on. It'll come on for a short time. I'm not saying how long, but it will come on for a short time. With a lithium battery, right here, when they die, they're done. Without recharging it, they're done. You're getting nothing else out of it. So pack your bags, go home. You're done fishing for the day. So that's a definite negative. But again, they'll last longer than this one will. And I hear guys talking about how they get 3-4 days out of it. So how hard they're using, I don't know. But when it comes to this, you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt now, because they've come such a long ways on lithiums. But there used to be a fire hazard with the lithiums. Now I can tell you from having a lithium in my bass boat, what really got hot was the charger. That charger got so hot that I had to put a leather glove underneath it because I worried about it getting possible fire hazard. And I know there's some other things that could cause the fires with the lithium batteries, but Now they've got that technology. The fire hazard's pretty low, so it doesn't bother me anymore. When you hook up a battery wrong up here in the terminals, you've got the positive and the negative. Red's always positive, of course. Black's negative. When you do it on a lead acid, you might get a spark out of it. You definitely ain't going to work, of course, but you can do that by accident and you're fine. On a lithium, you do that, you have a real chance at killing the battery. That is definitely a negative too. So you always got to be aware of what you're hooking up, of course, but if you do make a mistake, you can kill the battery on them. You can't charge a lithium battery in the cold. That's a no-no. When you got to charge your batteries up, you want them warm. You either leave them in the house or you bring them in the house and then you can charge them up. But in extreme cold, like say today where it's 1 degree below zero, I can't charge that battery out there. It's just not going to happen. You want to make sure you're bringing them inside, where you can sometimes get away with charging in the real cold with a lead acid. One of the other things, the disposal of a bad lead acid battery versus a lithium, you can take to a battery place. They'll usually accept these batteries. Lithiums, they don't always do that. A lithium battery, you might have to take to an e-waste site to get rid of it. You don't want to throw them in the garbage. That's not good for the environment either way, but like I said, a lot of places will take the lead acid. Most places will not take the lithium. So that is another bad thing as far as a con for lithium. Those are, pretty much without going into a lot of details on the AGM versus the lithium, those are the pros and cons I come up with. Like I said, there's some pros. There's not nearly as many pros as there is cons for the lithiums. But on the backside, and no pun intended, the lithium, I think, outweighs in the positive versus the lead acid. Be interesting to see how much more runtime I get with this lithium versus the lead acid. Yeah, let me know your experience with it. Let us know in the comments. Is there certain batteries that you've tested out with the lithiums without me naming names? I mean, there's all kinds of different ones, but some I hear work better than others. So, with that said, put it in the comments. And if you've got any other differences between the lead acid and the lithium, pros and cons that I didn't mention, let us know. Help everyone out. So with that said, hope you like this video. On a day when it's too cold, I just got things that get through my head and try to help people out understand or make things better. So once again, I hope you enjoyed it. Tight lines, shoot straight, everyone. Thanks for watching.